Hey everybody, Kellen Cash here with a quick little rant, whatnot. Inspired today by the Vigilant Christian. Check this out. The Vigilant Christian hit it right on the point. Snoop Dogg, Snoop Dogg, Super Bowl gospel album. Now, we saw the videos months ago that this might have been happening, but that it really happened. I think the Vigilant Christian hit it right on the head, scripture and all. So go to his channel to check out his opinion on that, because I am going to tell you, I can be totally biased just with the characters involved in this, working in the secular and the Christian music industry. This doesn't look genuine. And we know Snoop Dogg is the king of reinventing himself. He's been a gangbanger, he's been a pimp, he's been a pimp preacher, he's been a Rastafarian, and now the gospel arena. And he's been a dad too. You got to give it up for Snoop and the positivity that he's done in his community, and seems like a normal person. But right now we're talking faith. And when you come into the gospel realm, just like he came into the Rastafarian realm, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see this big shift. I mean, he went over to Jamaica. He had to get the real Rastafarians' blessings. He was there for a while, doing what they do with their spirituality out there. But for this just to pop up, I mean, I hope and we can pray that Snoop, wants to change his ways, and that, this album is going to be full of positivity, and not just positivity, but Jesus. But I don't know, Snoop. I mean, you didn't go through, it seems like, what you did with the Rastafarians. We weren't seeing you going to Moody Bible School or even preaching sermons, because you don't have to go to a Bible college to know the Bible. But we didn't see, I mean, you're in this church robe, which just, looks off. You don't want to talk about anybody's transformation, because it can happen anywhere. But the Vigilant Christian hit this right on the head, I think, in the video. So you check him out. And, boycotting the NFL this year, and not really even being one of them guys who watch football a whole bunch, because I rather watch business. It's just funny to see, we talk about the boycott. We know the NFL ratings are down, but Snoop, as a leader, we could have thought he might have been on the boycott. And, because they were talking about Colin Kaepernick, and they want to get on Trump all day. But really, movements start with what you move on. Movement starts with you, no matter if you're Snoop Dogg with a big audience, or if you're somebody with no platform, or if you're even, one of these people who hate everything and have opinion about everything because, your life sucks. The movement starts with you. Positivity starts with you. But, this is shocking because, and again, I'm biased. I'm biased even because the players that are in it. Because, I've interviewed a lot of people back in the day, before a lot of y'all were even on the internet. And I mean, from Russell Simmons on down, there's some people that you really, really like, and have a respect for as a man, when you don't see everything that they do behind the scenes. You can be biased. So I'm biased. And I remember the Suge Knight days. I remember talking with Suge, and, just in the height of everything, And so, and Suge was one of those feared characters. And Snoop always comes off as a decent guy. But this doesn't seem genuine. When you come over to the gospel realm, and even when we see you at the big events, even if you're at, South by Southwest, there are certain events that, and certain people that you're supposed to get that blessing from. And we know Snoop, being the star that he is, he can call anybody. But I would have liked to see him, if he was going to come into this realm, one, do some more outwardly promotion. that you're coming over to this realm, because we knew in the gospel realm, and the reason why, I'll show you real quick, I wrote my book on the Christian industry years ago, is I knew that I really saw very little difference between the gospel realm and the Christian realm. Very little difference. Very little difference. So I knew, let me write this book. Let me give all my contacts away, all of them. And if you ever see my book for more than $12, don't buy it. That's somebody reselling it. I recently saw it for like $800 and something dollars. Don't buy it for that price. It's $12, and this is the Kindle version. But you can also get the paperback, whatnot. And I would just say, Snoop Doggy Dogg, he doesn't need my book. Kindle or the paperback version. He doesn't need the book. But in this book, I talk about if this is ministry or if this is business for you. And either way, that's your personal choice. But in the book, we talk about how to see the fakes. And I wrote this easy enough for a 14-year-old to be able to call the contacts that I had, and how, the path, the way to do it, the way that we took artists from being local to touring the whole country, and being invited internationally, and those things. As a publicist and consultant, there's certain things you just don't talk about, and you don't just name drop to name drop. But this book is packed full of that, right? And Snoop took the superstar route, reinvent myself, and we saw when No Malice did it. A lot of people, I had a conversation with No Malice about like how some of his crew would represent themselves at a South by Southwest. And, hey, cats are already kind of skeptical. You might want to ease your way in and tell them to hold back. But, again, we are in no place to judge, but this is just advice. And you take it or leave it. Doesn't matter. But when you're in certain positions of leadership, especially behind the scenes, me, the young Al Heyman, when you're behind the scenes, you can talk to certain people a certain way, and you don't have to worry about backlash. But I just think Snoop coming in the gospel should have eased his way in if this is really a life change. Also, make sure that before you go, No Malice, before he went publicly, he got privately right? So, also, when as a community leader, you're not boycotting the NFL, and you don't have to, but it would have been something noble when you guys keep talking Colin Kaepernick. See, black folk especially, and if you have some leadership and some money, just a little bit of coins it takes to be balling, right, on a budget. There's certain stances, if you're going to tweet out to the president and talk about when he calls people SOBs or whatever the fact, and you're going to talk about Colin not having a job, stand with the brother. Stand with the brother. Financially, privately, and today, sometimes you got to do that publicly if you are a public figure. That's why you got to be careful who wants to be a public figure. Personally, my privacy is beautiful, because with that public figure, people are coming up to you so fake. I mean, faker than a $6 bill. You ever want to know what it is to be famous? Go rent yourself a Lamborghini, a Ferrari, or something. A Maserati, a Bugatti for some of y'all, and see how people wait for you at the store. But let's get back to the topic. A boycott would have been nice. Now we got all the gospel black folk who probably, we're going to stand with Colin Kaepernick, and y'all going to the gospel celebration. And I could do a whole nother video on the gospel industry, and I'm not going to name drop, and I'm not going to expose a whole bunch of people. But we know at these parties, when you go where the world is at, my goodness, it's hellacious. We done seen known artists sleeping with their girlfriends in the same hotel, just nonsense. And it's not just the girlfriends, sometimes the boyfriends, just hellacious. just hellacious, just a lot going on. So I say all that to say this Snoop album, this gospel album, we really hope, pray that there's change in Jesus' name for Snoop, and that he does even more in the Christian arena, maybe help clean it up, right? Coming from such a hellacious error like he did, like we did, and change your life. Because just because you are a Christian doesn't mean you're perfect, but we don't want to see you smoking. You know what I mean? Nah, don't do that publicly, because you did a lot of that publicly. So, and it's medicine now. So I get it. We don't want to hear, oh, it's medicine though, and I need my medicine. Hey, whatever the doctor says, okay, but you don't have to do it publicly. You don't have to be, a role model, Cheech and Chong out there, because, we already know. There's a lot of ways you can take cannabis nowadays. We're in Seattle, where it's on every corner, next to a Chinese brothel / massage parlor on every other corner, right? So let's pray for Snoop that it's a real change, but your actions, it's gonna be proven by your actions and what your next step is, because the gospel or the Christian music industry, one brother had said it about 5 years ago. It only had 10 years at best left. And they see the money in it, and they've proven the money's in it. And, the world is going to want a piece of that, which really the world never left, because you see the same players in it. So I just say, all you can do is pray. We got to pray just to make it today. And if you are in that Christian industry and you do need some tidbits, I have the Christian Star website still up. We're not taking new people at the moment. There's a lot going on business wise, but sometimes all you need is advice. Sometimes, you just need to link up with somebody. There's a way we may be able to do that. And if I feel it for real, we would take on new clientele. But right now, the way things are going, we're good. I got enough going on right now. And that's, the Christian side of the public relations and consulting that we do. But, before we take anyone on as a client, you have to get the book, because the book is so much power and information in that book that I need you to be on a certain level before we would even consider it, And so, that's that. There's testimonials on there. And that's that. I wasn't going to be long. Y'all be blessed.